a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. I see with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah, you are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. I'm just looking around at all your beautiful faces. You are welcome here. That song just says all of it for me. When I come into this community, I'm like, wow, he is so aligned. If you guys ever get a chance to work with John Stringer as a coach or any of that stuff, man, he drops into these codes and all of that, and he channels. It's incredible, so that we get a chance to use that music and, speak to that every single Sunday when we come together. Our values, our mission, our vision, all of it. So here at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala, I'm going to share with you what we're about. Our mission is that we embody, y'all, embody. You know how hard it is to do that? Because sometimes you have to have somebody who calls you on your, thank you, Pammy. Yeah, my friends call me on it. We embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices that empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around us. It's not just here, but it's all around us. It's a challenging thing to see it all around you, but there it is. So that we may facilitate spiritual healing and the elevation of our individual and collective consciousness. Who here thinks that our consciousness is awakening right now as a collective? I really believe that. We are awakening as a collective and coming together as a human family now more than ever, and I'm just really proud of us all. And our vision, thank you so much, Cole, back there. Our vision is that we are a thriving New Thought community dedicated to spiritual growth and practice, which means we show up as much times as we can. Hello to the online world. Thank you so much for showing up in real time or in the future. Ashe, ashe, ashe to you as well. But we're dedicated to spiritual growth and practice, sacred activism, and the transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and oneness. And when we're talking about sacred activism, we're talking about the intersection of consciousness and action. It is a place where prayer and service activate love, and spiritual principles become lived practice. Sacred activism is how we show up as a beneficial presence in the world. And as a Alliance of Divine Love minister, I walk in this, and that's why I'm so glad that the center was here. Reverend Peggy took me in and said, yes, I will be your mentor, and then Cindy mentored me as well. But ADL talks about that, the greatest degree of love, which also means you are important. You are just as valid. Every slice of cake is still cake. Every slice is important. It's all yummy. It's all the same. And that includes your slice as well. So I'm just so glad that this space lends to that and allows me to be me. And at this time, I'd like to ask one of my wonderful mentors to come on up here and bless us with a spiritual mind treatment. Reverend Peggy, will you come up? Reverend Dr. Peggy. Yes, thank you.
You know, August is an important time for this center that you may not be aware of. 10 years ago in August, I retired and Reverend Cindy took over. Yes. So August is an important month. And so Reverend Cindy, are we celebrating your 10-year anniversary in any way? We should be doing it. And then, of course, the center is celebrating its 40th year this year. So to have a celebration sometime, I'd plant that seed somewhere. But have a big party somewhere, or right here, to celebrate 40 years of continuous service of this center here in Ocala, of which I was blessed to serve 20 of those 40 years. So let's turn within this morning, recognizing the joy that we have in coming together, knowing that our life is meant to be a life that thrives. And that as we open to that possibility, we're doing that right here by being here this morning. And we know that Spirit was already here when we walked in the door. For God is everywhere present. God is always right where we are. And as we come together in spiritual community, perhaps by our very attention and the love that we have for one another and the open hearts that we share, we invite even more of our awareness of Spirit's presence to come into our own consciousness and bless our lives. I give thanks for each and every person here. If you've been coming here for years, welcome. If you're here for the very first time, I invite you to feel at home, knowing that Spirit is greeting you along with all these wonderful, lovely people that people this place. I know that what Reverend Cindy has to share with us today touches our hearts and lifts us into a place of new knowingness. I give thanks for that. I give thanks for the work that she has done preparing for today and for the wonderful music that we are about to hear, for all the great gifts that we can take for granted when we walk in the door because so many are doing so much to help in the success of this center. In this very moment, I invite everyone to awaken to the gifts that they have to share and to share them here, knowing that what Spirit is doing through each one of us is important, and that call to service always enriches our lives, blesses us, and invites us to widen our circle bringing more and more to that awareness of God's great good. For all of this, I do give thanks. And so it is.
We gratefully acknowledge the native peoples, the Temuco tribe, on whose ancestral homelands we gather, as well as the diverse, vibrant native communities who make their home here today.
I give myself permission. Yeah. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free.
Hello, hello. Oh, there we go. Excellent, excellent. I just love this community and this team. Wasn't this fun already this morning? Ah. And the fun continues as we talk about accountability. Woo woo, everybody's favorite subjects, right? Why you got to do that, right? I'm sitting, I hope you all don't mind. Send me some extra energy this morning. I tweaked my back a little bit, pulling some weeds. So I'm hurting a little bit, but when I'm sitting, I don't feel it much. So thank you. Just send me some love, some love. Ah, thank you, thank you. Ah, I accept, thank you. So talk title this morning, From Surviving to Thriving. We all do surviving really well, don't you think? I mean, the fact that you're here means that you have survived life, right? Now, how about thriving? How many of you feel like life is really like, yes, I'm thriving, everything is going well? Sometimes it's slippery, right? We don't always stay there. We can get there. I know I get there. More often now than not, I can say that I feel like my life, that I am thriving. It hasn't always been the case, and it's not always the case. Ask me tomorrow, I might have a different answer. But, so I want to share this little cartoon here. I don't know if you can see it. Looks like a little godly figure there. I think that's God. I'm not sure if that's an angel behind him. And what it says is, timing, I think I'm feeling better already. Timing is everything. The moment they relax and stop waiting for the other shoe to drop, I let them have it. Does anyone else ever feel like that in life? Yes, I know I used to. I really, literally, when I was a kid, and I grew up in a very, how should I put this? A very authoritarian kind of household, and I was not the boss, just so you know. It wasn't me. And it would feel like, the more fun I had when I was out, the more hell there'd be to pay when I got home. And so I stopped my own joy. Like, I wouldn't let myself get too happy because the crash was too painful, too intense when it happened. Can anyone else relate to that? I know there's some people that can. So I'm going to read this quote from Brené Brown. She says, "When we are overwhelmed by love, we feel vulnerable. So we dress rehearse tragedy. I think the most terrifying experience is joy. It's as if we believe that by truly feeling happiness, we're setting ourselves up for the sucker punch." Now that's where I was. Like I said, when I was that kid, like, I can't let myself get too happy because whammo, that shoe is going to drop. And by the way, do you know where that phrase comes from? Yeah, I had to look it up too. I had to wonder. So in New York City, they had these big tenements, turn of the century, and what do you call it? The stuff in between, insulation, that kind of thing, not a lot of it. So when someone would be upstairs and they're taking their shoes off, you hear it, right? First one drops, and then the other one drops. So there's always that expectation of that second shoe dropping. So that's where it comes from. So we're setting ourselves up for a sucker punch. The problem is that worrying about things that haven't happened doesn't actually protect us from the pain. Ask anyone who's experienced a tragedy and they'll tell you there's no way to prepare. Instead, catastrophizing squanders the one thing we all want more of in life. We simply cannot know joy without embracing vulnerability. Right? So we talk about emotions, and we've talked in the past few months about the really difficult emotions, right? Grief and anger and depression, like those kinds of things. But who knew that it was so hard to feel joy? Who knew? For that very reason that she talks about. It's that moment that everything is going so well, and there's something inside of you that says, this is too good to be so. My husband trained me up in our marriage very early on with this, in that I grew up kind of a little bit chaotic in my background, and so things would be going really well, and then something would happen to change all of that, and my husband called me out one day and said, you are the one causing the drama. You are causing drama. It's like you can't have it too good. It's like things can't be going too smoothly. You have to go and create some kind of drama. And oof, ouch, it hurt. But it was kind of true. It was kind of true. I had to own that. So thank goodness that happened I don't know, what, 35, 30? Yeah, 30, 30 years ago. So I've changed things up a little bit in large part because of this teaching, primarily this teaching. So this idea of the other shoe dropping, right, of being in, that's what we call survival mode. Is anybody else familiar with that? Of being in survival mode? Yeah? I think most of the world lives in survival mode right now. So we'll just break it down what that actually is. It's a state of heightened alertness and reactivity, triggered by prolonged stress or trauma. When you grow up being surrounded by trauma, stress, you get used to it. You kind of get used to it, and that's just the way it is. And so some people create it when there isn't enough of it around them. So you see, the brain is hardwired. This is the brain's hardwired default mechanism. There's not something wrong with you. You're not broken if this happens to you. It's just the way we are wired, because the number one thing that we need is survival. So your brain has these mechanisms when we are triggered to put us in fight, flight, or freeze, which is to do what? Get you out of danger. Exactly. Get out of Dodge. You got to get out of here. We've got to get away from the danger. But now the things that are frightening us maybe are not physical things that we're running from. We're not running from lions and tigers and things like that. But maybe it's an interview, or a conversation you need to have with the boss, or a conversation that may be challenging you need to have with a loved one. And you feel that triggering instinct, and your brain goes into fight, flight, freeze. This is what happens to us. And so when you're in that mode, your body is being flooded with all of these stress hormones, with adrenaline and cortisol, that raise your heart rate, speed up your breath, and basically are creating a sense of urgency so you can move, so you can get out of danger. Make sense? But then some of us never feel like we're not in danger. So that switch that gets flipped to say we're on, we're in stress, we need to take care of ourselves, never gets fully turned off. So so many of us are living in a state of stress and urgency. And so you never feel like you can relax. You never feel like you can just really just let go. It may result in habituation to those stress hormones that make the absence of that stimulation uncomfortable. So again, you get so used to it when it's not there, it's like something doesn't feel right. Right? Better the devil you know than the one that you don't. And it can lead to unhealthy coping strategies. Anyone want to yell some out? Drinking, right? Isn't it interesting that we call alcohol spirits? Right? We're looking for the spirit in us. So drinking, what else did I hear? Overeating? Did I hear? Stress eating, yeah, oh, that one. Yes, gambling, sex, overworking, anything that numbs the pain. Those are the things that we do, that human beings do. And again, I swear I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm just saying this is what human beings do. So we're bringing attention to it because we can't change what we can't name. And the other thing is that it often reduces our openness to that feeling of vulnerability, especially the vulnerability of joy, right? That moment things feel like so good, and it's almost like it overwhelms the system. So we have to create something to go back to our normal humdrum life, right? So the truth is, though, that we are spiritual beings on a human journey. So all that human stuff happens to us. It happens to our bodies and our physiology. But we are spiritual beings that are having a human experience. And we're not here just to survive. We're here to thrive. Survival may be nature's instinct, but thriving is our soul's intention. And that's why we're here, is to thrive. You're not here to survive because guess what? You're not going to. None of us get out of this human experience alive. Right? So if survival is your main purpose, your main goal, you're barking up the wrong tree. Because that's not what happens to us, right? So we might as well live our biggest lives while we're here, not playing small. Like the song said, give yourself permission to be all that you can be. That's what we're here to do. Yes? All right, all right. Well, I think I want to do a little meditative moment. Let's do that. Let's do that before we go into the, the, the rest of what we're talking about, the meat of our subject. So go ahead and start settling into your seat. You are settled in your seats, but just take a breath and feel your body relax a little bit. Get nice and comfortable, and if you're up for it, close your eyes, and if you're not, just let your gaze go soft. Just find something to focus your attention on, and let your gaze go soft, and take a few deep breaths. Nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And with every breath, your body relaxes a little bit more. And so let's begin by arriving fully in this moment. Take another nice slow breath through your nose and release it through your mouth. Breathing in and letting go. With each exhale, your shoulders soften. Your jaw unclenches and your body rests a little more deeply into the chair beneath you. Feel the ground supporting you and know that here in this space, you are absolutely safe. You are welcome and you belong. Now imagine that before you lies a doorway. It's simple, yet inviting. This doorway is the threshold between today and how you've been living, and how you're ready to live a new you. And so you approach the doorway and notice that you're carrying a small but heavy bag. Inside of this bag are the roles you've played in that dreaded drama triangle. The times you felt powerless, the times you've tried to control, the times you may have helped a little too much. But now, without judgment, just acknowledge that weight that you've been carrying. Now gently set the bag down and feel the lightness in your body as you step forward. In your hand, you see a golden key. Inscribed on it is the single word, permission. Permission. This is your permission to see yourself as you truly are, as a conscious creator. It's your permission to release old roles that no longer serve you. It's permission to rise to the next stage of your consciousness, moving from life happens to me to life happens by me, through me, and as me. As you walk through that doorway, you step into a sacred light-filled space where you are grounded, centered, and powerful. Not through force, but through choice. You feel the truth of this in your body. I am whole. I am free to choose. And I am here to create. Breathe that in and let it settle into every cell of your being. I am whole. I am free to choose. And I am here to create. And when you're ready, take in another deep breath. And slowly bring your awareness back to the room. As you open your eyes, carry this clarity and permission with you into our time together and beyond. All right, welcome back. Good, very good. So that was just a little opening so we can continue on with our conversation this morning. This is a little review. How many of you were here the past couple of weeks hearing about the dreaded drama triangle? So you know what it is. And for those of you who don't know, this is the way, I don't know what percentage of our world lives in, but I would say the vast, vast majority, 95% maybe? I don't know. Because I think once we hit that critical mass, this will no longer be the case. Right. But we live in this space of what, I forget what his name is, David Emerald, I think, calls the dreaded drama triangle. So where we're playing one of three roles. We either find ourselves as the victim, or the persecutor, or the rescuer, somebody's great savior. And we can be all three roles. We can be all three roles to ourselves. We can be all three roles to other people. Other people can be all of these things. I mean, this is just what we circle through, right? We feel victimized by life, by circumstances, by the things that happen to us. And of course, it's somebody that is persecuting us, that is causing us to feel this pain. And then we look for our savior, for the way out. And we just keep going round and round and round and round. And we see the futility of that effort. You know, we're seeing it all around us. But this is a really hard paradigm to bust out of because it's so prevalent. He's like, that's just the way it is, don't you know? This is just how life is. And so this brilliant gentleman, David Emerald, took that story and spun it. And you see the dreaded drama triangle is not stable. If it was like sitting on something, it wouldn't be able to stand, right? Because it can't stand on that little point. So when you flip that circle over, we have at the bottom now some stability. And those two parts now hold up the change, right? When we go from being victim, this is the big key thing that needs to change. You go from being victim to acknowledging yourself as a creator. And then those other parts support you. So instead of seeing persecutors around us, we're seeing people in situations that challenge us. And instead of looking for a savior, we find mentors and people who can coach us, folks who've maybe been through the same thing that have some other angle that can help us out. So we stop looking at persecutors and we see challengers, and we stop looking for saviors and we start looking for coaches, or we step into those roles ourselves. Does that make sense for everybody? And if you want a little more information on that, go back and listen to the talk from last week, or get the book by David Emerald, TED, The TED Effect. So making that shift from victim to creator may be the most profound shift we make on the spiritual journey. Those are my 3 grandkids. I just love to put any opportunity. But you know, they're on a journey. You can see that they're on a journey together, and they are definitely fully self-expressed. They're having a good time. And this is our nature as human beings, right? That's why Jesus said to become like little children. Because this is who we are, our essence, right? Is to be on an adventure, to look forward to life, to express everything that we came here to be, right? Like a rose expresses its essence. It can't ever become anything other than rose. And us human beings, we can't ever be anything but the essence of spirit, of life, of God, of love that resides right inside of us. Now, just like we can train up a plant, or we can neglect a plant, or have it grow up vines, or different things, that happens to us as well. But our essence remains the same. This is the way that we are created in the image and likeness of the Creator. It's not to say that we look like God, or that we're supposed to look like a man with a beard in the clouds and that whole story. But that our essence is to create as the Creator creates. So that's review, right? We're moving from drama to empowerment taking accountability. This is how we do it, right? We take accountability for what's ours and only ours, not other people's stuff. It's about releasing shame and blame, because that is not helpful. How many of you have ever been shamed into a higher state of consciousness, let us say? Right? It seems so obvious, but yet we do it all the time, shaming and blaming as if that's going to help somebody. And then choosing with awareness and responsibility. This is how we move from drama to empowerment, is by choosing with awareness. Remember that Viktor Frankl quote, my favorite one? Between stimulus and response, between what happens and what we do about it, there's that space. And this is why we use spiritual practices, to make that space a little bit wider, so we're not reacting to everything, but actually responding. And in that response is our freedom and our growth, right? In that space in between. So however long you need to make it. But you still have to take action at some point. Some people say, well, I'm not going to deal with that right now, and then guess what? They never get back to dealing with the situation. So we're not saying that. So the way of peace, this is the new paradigm, right? I love how the sun is coming up. We see the earth. It's a new, that shift. The way of peace is based on the same thing that ushered in the way of science. It's a leap of consciousness. Whenever consciousness is ready for a shift, you will see ferment and turmoil. Right? So when that paradigm is shifting, when things are changing, things can feel like they're in a little bit of an uproar. It may feel a little bit chaotic. Things are getting ready to shift, right? For sure, for sure. You know, the Chinese word, or the character for crisis, I've shared this before, some of you know that. It looks like a picture, right? You know, the Chinese character. But it means at the same time danger and opportunity. You know? And we are, I would say, at a point of crisis in many ways, right? In our world, and with wars and what's happening with our environment, so many things. But we are at a crisis point, but it also means that we are at a point of opportunity. And I bring in peace here because this is my other hat, is as a peace builder. And this is where a lot of this material that I'm sharing with you comes from, that work that I do in the peace building world. But it's the same. Don't we all want to feel peace? We all want to feel joy? Would we like to see more peace, more joy, more kindness in our world? Absolutely, absolutely. So when consciousness is getting ready for shift happens. And you'll see lots of stuff. So just know that's part of the process. So it's not clicking, would you? There we go. The principle to keep in mind is that consciousness wants to evolve. And anyone who knows how to move consciousness in an evolutionary direction is part of the peace movement. How about that idea, that consciousness wants to evolve? Just like life wants to live. You know, we can go outside and see plants that are growing up in little teeny tiny cracks in the sidewalks, or those plants that literally push up the concrete. How the heck do they do that? It's quite amazing. But it's like, just to me, evidence that life wants to expand and to grow, and we are part of that, the evolution and expansion of life itself. The difference between us and a plant, at least as far as I can tell, is that we have some consciousness. I'm not sure plants do. Maybe they do. Maybe we just don't know how to talk to them yet. But some of us do, though, right? Anyway, this quote is from Deepak Chopra, Peace is the Way. So that the drama triangles was one framework. I want to share another one with you, and this one comes from Michael Beckwith, on how we evolve spiritually, another way to evolve. So most of us, as I said, are living in this victim mode where life happens to me. And then we move up to the next level of life not just happening to you, but life happens by me. And then life happens through me. And then lastly, we are living as spirit and knowing that in our day-to-day life. Life is happening as me. So I'll break these down. In that first level, the way bottom, where, as I said, probably 99% of our world lives here in the victim consciousness. And their worldview or their idea, their paradigm is that life is happening to them. Should I say us? And they are living in fear and survival mode where there is absolutely no control. Now, the invitation, if we're feeling in this place, and by the way, we bounce around. I don't know about you, but it's really hard to stay in that place of living as spirit itself. It's real easy to fall back into victim consciousness. The thing is to catch yourself when you do it. You don't stay there too long. And give grace, compassion. Those are whole other talks right there. So the invitation, when we're feeling in that place, is to release blame. Release that blame and shame because it's not helping anything. Right? The next step is the manifestor consciousness. Now this is this one's fun when you finally make that shift. How many of you saw The Secret last night together? We were here watching Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich and The Secret. I think they were by the same makers, actually. But what happens when we get into that manifestor consciousness, you realize life is happening by me. And we start to accept responsibility for how we respond to the things that are happening in our lives. You're starting to learn the spiritual tools. You're reading the books. You're practicing finding a good parking space. You're putting up your vision board, all of that good stuff. Everybody here done those things? Yeah. Continuous, right? We do it. Well, the invitation here to move up that scale of consciousness is to release the illusion of control. Ooh, that's another owie, because don't we like to be in control? Yes, we like to know what is happening next, yeah? Again, bring it back to the first conversation. That's why we rehearse tragedy, because we want to be ready for it, right? It gives us an illusion of control. If I can just think it through enough, I'll have all of the solutions at my fingertips and we'll have it when I need it. Isn't that what we tell ourselves? Yeah. But what really happens is when you're in that fear place, your vision becomes tunnel vision. You don't see all these other possibilities anymore. So releasing the illusion of control. In the third stage is when we're embodying the consciousness of being an instrument. Be an instrument of peace, right? An instrument of life. Life is happening through me, right? We're like the beautiful flute, the sound comes through the flute. We are the essence of God flowing through us. It's another level of awakening, and what we're doing in that place is that faith and surrendering. It's just surrendering. Like, I may not know why these things are happening to me now, but I'm going to state and know that it's happening for something good. We're going to have some good thing happen out of this. And so releasing the invitation to move up from this level is to release a sense of personal separation, right? God is working through us. And sorry if you don't like that word. Just change it. Use something else. Spirit, universe, life is working through you, in, through, and as you. In this last stage is the unity consciousness, and that is life is happening as me, as me. We recognize and understand that we are one with all of life, not just some of it, but all of it. Love and peace is our life, and our invitation is to be one with God, with Source, with love. Like, slippery. Isn't it? How many of you feel like you know that phase and you kind of live in that space? A little bit, yeah, right? It's like I said, you get it, you kind of feel it, and then it can slip away from you. Something happens, right? And it ends. My husband didn't like this quote, I think because of God in there, but I like it because it's a Catholic priest saying what I'm saying here, and some of you might be feeling a little funny about this whole thing about being God. Like, are you serious, really? It is our duty to become God. If you don't want to become God, you've missed the boat. If you're too humble to think you can become God, if you think you're not worthy, that is false humility, because it's not your decision. It's the decision of that creative power, presence, force, whatever you want to call it, that brought you into existence. Right? And planted within you that seed. So there you go. Even the Catholic priests are onto this. That's good news. So, so what could it look like, the move up that scale of consciousness? I've said many times here that this was the place that turned my life around. I was just turning 40. 40 is one of those big numbers, right? I was turning 40 when I first walked into the center. I was 39 years old. And we were meeting somewhere else, and Reverend Peggy was up on stage, and she mentioned Star Wars and Buddha and I don't know what, the Bible, and I was like, what is going on? What is this place? But I knew instantly I needed more. And I came back, and I was actually looking for articles on spiritual parenting. I was running my own business at the time. And I didn't want stuff that was Jesus-y. I had I was not doing church anymore. I'd done too many. It wasn't helping. And so I wasn't really looking for that, but I wanted stuff on spiritual parenting. So it led me here to the center where we were teaching the Virtues Project at the time. And I thought, that is so awesome. And my kids are going to love it. And they didn't. But I did. I loved it. And I found so many kindred spirits. And if you were back at the center in that time, it was very, very different. Not quite as diverse as it is today. I had a head full of dark hair and a little more pigment in my skin than most of the folks that were in the room. But I knew in that moment I had found my tribe. I knew it. I just, open hearts, open minds, energetic. There were people living like, I don't know what that woman's got, but I want some of it. I want to live. Remember Marilyn? She was 80 years old teaching yoga and ballroom dancing. It was just amazing. And so I came into the center, and if you'd asked me at that time, how is life? How are you? I was fine. It was fine. And a year later, I couldn't say that I couldn't even pretend anymore that it was fine. All the things were bottoming out that could. I was 100 pounds overweight and on the verge of a stroke. I was getting really, really bad headaches. And when it's that bad that you can feel your head pulsing, that's not a good place to be. We were like 2 single parents living under the same roof. Financially, things were terrible, like on the verge of losing our house and bankruptcy. I was running my own business, and I was in a dispute with my business partner. It was all falling apart. And I was here. Oh, that was the thing, yes. 4 hurricanes in a 6-week period, one after another after another. And the metaphor was not lost on me. Right, as life was storming all around me, there were the storms in my house, the storms in my head. It was just and it all just kind of culminated. But I was here. I was already here, and I was taking classes, and I jumped in with both feet. I think I started either doing the newsletter or signed up to become the treasurer, and I was using this stuff in like real life. And I sit here now because every single one of those things changed. Didn't happen overnight. There was a lot of tears. There were a lot of walks in the woods. God knows how many miles I put in at Jervy Gant. Just, crying and just letting go of stuff, putting that baggage down that I didn't need anymore, and finding out, remembering who I am, and getting in touch with my purpose and why I'm here, what I'm here to do. So for those of you who are earnestly on the path, if you're here, you're on the path, you know it. Take the classes, do the things, because it is life-changing. It is life-changing. And the one thing is making that shift from, oh, poor me, to, okay, this is the hand that I have been dealt. This is what's going on. How do we make the most of this? It shifted everything. So here's the invitation to you, is to practice radical accountability. As I said, we may not be responsible for the hand that we're dealt. Although there is a thought out there that maybe we are. You know, I love to do this meditation at the beginning of the year where I take you back in time, and you go back so far to the time even before you're born. Right? When we go back to that place from where we all emerge, and just imagine that you are this soul just floating in the Milky Way galaxy, and all of a sudden a call goes out for volunteers. Planet Earth is in trouble, right? And needs people to come and help bring it to the next level. So you say yes, you volunteer, and you meet with the Incarnation Committee, and you choose your talents, your gifts, your parents, your significant others, your friends, the big life events, all of that stuff you choose in advance. Where you're born, your astrological sign, all of that stuff, you pick it. But here's the catch. Before you come back to Earth, you forget it all. You forget it all. And here's another interesting thing. When children pass through the birth canal, you know, there's all kinds of hormones that are being secreted. Oxytocin, the love hormone, is flowing, and it also is something that causes forgetfulness. And isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that a mother will forget all of the pain and all of that, it's, you know, in that moment of birthing a child, partly because of the hormones, and of course the child's passing through all of that too. So I just think that's kind of interesting. So practicing radical accountability, imagine if you are indeed responsible for all of it, and how would you behave differently, knowing that. Right? Knowing that those challenges and things that are happening to you are just really to build your muscle. It's not to kill you. It's not even to hurt you, not to take you down, but to help you come into who you are meant to be and what is yours to do in this world. So accountability then isn't about blaming, shaming, or punishing, but it is about coming into your own power as a conscious creator. And we're going to talk some more about accountability on the fourth Sunday. We'll take a deep dive into that specifically. But so many of us conflate accountability, discipline, punishment, all of those things. People kind of think that they're the same thing, and they're not. We're going to split them all out. So it's about owning your power. The moment you accept responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you gain the power to change everything in your life. Right. So even if it's not totally true that you chose all of these things, again, you're still responsible for what you do with it, each one of us. Second invitation. Those are the grandbabies too. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission for what? To be all that you came here to be. To live passionate and free. I hope that song is like a little earworm now in your head. And to feel and express your joy. All right, dress rehearsing tragedy doesn't prevent the tragedy from happening. It just robs your joy. I was heading to Tampa Monday. I can't believe it was just this past Monday, to do a training with a group of 140 teachers from Pace Center for Girls in peace building and restorative practices, and helping them understand how to build tighter communities in their school and how to resolve conflict when it happens. Anyway, I was very excited, riding down with Hart and Jeffrey from the River Phoenix Center for Peace Building, my other gig, and two of my co-workers. And so we were 15 minutes out past the 484 exit on 75. You all know where I'm talking about? Before you get to the Turnpike Exchange where they split off. And traffic was at a complete standstill, like 75 heading south. Total standstill. We knew something bad must have happened, but of course nobody knew. We didn't have any news. 3 hours we sat in that mess of traffic. And yeah, you know, and the people that I was with, well, the first thing we did was stop and give thanks. Not usually the thing you do when you're stuck in traffic, but we knew that whatever was up ahead of us had to be pretty bad for the traffic to be at a complete standstill as it was, and then for 3 hours. So gratitude, a prayer for whoever else is having a really bad day right now. And then we just enjoyed one another's company. We started telling stories. We started playing games. I Spy, Two Truths and a Lie. Would you rather? All those fun things. And it felt, there was a part of me that felt a little bad that we were doing that because we knew somebody else was really having a bad time. Someone else was suffering. But there was nothing that we could do about it from that point. And then Hart got out of the car and just started walking up and down the traffic, making friends, knocking on people's windows, checking in on them, having conversation. People start getting out of their cars. They're all now milling around, having conversations. There's a group of teenagers sitting in the median, just kind of hanging out. It was like, wow. It felt like being the change we wanted to see. And I thought of so many other people I could have been traveling with in that moment, and it would not have been that experience. Including my beloved grandchildren, right? Who would have been, are we there yet? Are we there yet? He's picking on me. How much longer? I'm bored. But no, it was a moment of just, we were in it. We were in the flow with one another and with the crowd, and it changed. I really felt the change, the shift in myself. Next time I'm in a traffic jam like that will be a totally different experience. So that to me was being that God self. That's who we were. So feel and express your joy, right? Holding it back doesn't serve anybody, doesn't hurt, doesn't help anyone, especially you. Ooh, what was that one? Don't squander your joy waiting for the other shoe to drop. Is that your song? All right, well, just all I have is this affirmation. If you want to say this, I love to do affirmations at service so you can take them and make them your own, take a picture of it, put it on the refrigerator, whatever you need to do. And it says this: I am a conscious creator. I take full ownership of my life, and I am thriving. So I'm going to ask you now to say it again with me. Nice, like you feel it, okay? I am a conscious creator. I take full ownership of my life. I am Woo! She's feeling it. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Woo, woo, woo. Go Sam. And with that, I'll turn it back over to our joyful expressions. Thank you, honey.
From my feet, I call the healing power. Up from my feet, I draw it to my heart. It's already here, I only need to claim it. Up from my feet, I know that I am here. I am here. And through my hands
from my head, I know that I am healed. I am healed. With my spirit and soul, I call the healing power. With my spirit and soul, I draw it to my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. With my spirit and soul, I know that I am healed. I know that I am healed. Up from the earth, I call it healing power. Up from the earth, draw it to my heart. It's already here. Up from the earth, gonna send it back to the earth. I send the healing power. Send it back to the earth. I send it from my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Claim it back to the earth. I know that I am healed. I know that I am healed. I know that I am healed. So the invitation right now is for you to claim it as well. You can do this mantra with us. You can put your hand on your heart, whatever it takes to get you into your body. There's something greater in your body than what's in your mind. Divine intelligence knows exactly what it is doing to heal. And with no music, say it. I know that I am healed. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
It was me. Thank you, Joyful Expressions. I didn't know what songs were going to be played today. I did, because we did the schedule at the beginning of the year, and if you know me, you know things always change. But it was so perfect and so beautiful, the songs that went with the talk today. Almost as if Spirit planned it, right? Like I didn't even have to know. Duh. That's what happens when we live as Spirit, right? It just flows. It just flows. So this is the time during our service when we celebrate our abundance. And I'm going to invite you all to say this affirmation along with me. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. I participate in the Did I do that wrong? Go ahead. It's my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed. I am a blessing. I am grateful. So it is. my attention got pulled off for a moment there as I was thinking of the author of this affirmation, which was Reverend Gail. Reverend Gail. I thought about Reverend Gail Reuter, who wrote that affirmation for us probably the first year that I was in the pulpit. So prayer requests, Pam's got prayer requests, show them to everybody. It's a slip of paper, a quarter sheet. That is if you are having some type of a challenge and you would like some extra prayer support, we'd be glad to do that for you. Myself, Reverend Peggy, our beautiful practitioners, and the wellness folk. Yes, and so there are many ways to give here, many ways to give. You can give out there on the iPad using your card if you need to do that, or if you want to give cash, you can do that as well. This is a wonderful way to give using our text to tithe. Once that number is programmed into your smartphone, you just text the amount of money that you want to send us, and it goes right from your account to ours. Yes. And just so you know, this center is an independent, we're part of the larger movement, but we only exist because of the giving of this community. The people who came before us that had the vision, that were able to purchase this building, the folks who have been here since doing all of the upgrades and the things that it needs, and we are always in need of funds to keep this place going. So whatever you can give, we greatly appreciate it, whether it is of your time, talent, or treasure. But of course, money is what keeps the light bills on, right? I mean, the electricity going, right? And phones and all that great stuff. So thank you. All right. Yes, say that affirmation. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. That's another Karen Drucker earworm that I love. And so take this moment, just kind of turn your attention within. I want to offer a prayer of just gratitude for this beautiful community, for the generosity of those who come here and give of their time, talent, and treasure. And I just know and affirm that for those who are going through a challenge, that it is just their workout for this moment, and know that it is making them stronger, wiser, better, and that all these challenges are being resolved for the very highest and good in this moment. So I give thanks for these beautiful people. I give thanks for the light and the love that they are in this world. And I give gratitude that each one of us is well and getting better all the time. And so it is. And so it is. All right. Thinking about the giving here, we had a group here yesterday that was pulling weeds and taking care of our garden. If you were here yesterday, any kind of volunteering that happened yesterday, raise your hand, because not just the gardening, but we had a movie night last night, so many things happening. Thank you all the volunteers that serve here. So yes, the fundraiser. I think we're going to get to that too. So the Science of Mind magazine is available in the bookstore. The newsletter is out. If you want to receive it, please make sure that you are on our mailing list. Did you want to share that? Just show them what it is. There you go, Science of Mind magazine. That has stories and affirmations and things for every day of the month. So it is a wonderful thing to incorporate into your spiritual practice. So what is happening here? Foundations was canceled, postponed. Foundations class was postponed. That is a 10-week course. That's the class I was saying that I took when my life bottomed out. That was the thing that helped me turn it all around, was that foundations class. So I really highly recommend you taking the class, and maybe we'll get some testimonials next time we set another date for it. That was this week. Next week is Circle Sunday. You know, every week is a little different here at the center. Some things are more participatory than others. And Circle Sunday is our most participatory Sunday. So you walk in the room, you'll see us sitting in a big circle. We talk about the topic at hand, and we split out into small groups. So everyone has an opportunity to really share their experience. And those circles they're magical. They're really magical because you start to see yourself in other people and their experience, and it grows all of us. So do come and check it out, especially our first-time visitors, to see that, you know, things are different here every week. CPR class is happening. That is next Sunday also. Is that correct? Yes. If anybody's online watching, it's free unless you need a card. Then it's $25 and $50 if you are a healthcare professional and need that certification. Propagation party happening the week after that on a Saturday. That is another fundraiser so that we can invest in some plants and some pots and some fun things for our butterfly garden. My understanding is they're trying to raise just over $800. I'm not sure where we are right now, maybe somewhere around 2. Do you know, Pam? Okay. I think it helps to know, right, what the goal is? What the goal is and how much more we need to go to get there. Same thing with Pazzi. While she's looking, we'll go to the next slide. That's the 4th Sunday on accountability. I already shared about that. 5th Sunday, there's 5 Sundays in August, and the 5th Sunday always is a little bit different. That one will be, we will be focusing on heart math. We'll be talking about the Radiance Hub and how we're incorporating technology into what we do here at the center, but specifically heart math on that last Sunday. And do we have a number for the group?
Yeah, so like right now, Green Guardian is at about $120 that we've raised through the recent fundraisers that you've seen, like the butterflies that are all around. We've done the rock painting. All of our painted rocks are now outside. We do have our rock garden sign that was created by Tiffany, all posted, and there's going to be another one of those next month, another rock painting. So yes, any help that we can have to help make this butterfly garden a reality. There were a couple butterflies who were kept flying around yesterday while we were working, just checking out the work and giving their blessing.
Wonderful. Thank you.
It's over $800. I'd have to look up that, but yeah, with the plants are the biggest expense.
All right. Volunteering, thank you. I see someone checking out the QR code. That's wonderful. Okay, that's for the little butterflies. That's another way that we're doing this fundraiser. So if you want to put a little, oh, and they're on the table over there. So you just put the money in the little bowl and write your blessing on the butterfly and stick it somewhere in the room. We'll have butterflies all around us. Our green gardeners, we're looking to add to our outside crew in helping our kids kind of flow in and help pulling weeds and do all that fun stuff outside. What else? More volunteer opportunities. There's volunteer opportunities all throughout this place. And there is a meeting on the 24th about volunteering. Cheryl, did you want to make a plug for volunteers for welcome? Yeah. We have a mic for you. Where'd that mic go? Thank you. It's not on.
Hello. I'm the leader of the welcoming committee, and normally I would be the first person when you came through the door that you would see. And it's an important part of our community to welcome people as they come through the door, to give them a hug, to give them some information, and hugs always mean love, and we're a loving community. Now, Pam has been helping me out, but she is so busy. So I am looking for 2 volunteers that would like to do this, and we can also have it on rotation where you're not stuck with it every Sunday if you can't. So I'm looking for 2 volunteers to help to greet the people, make them feel welcome, give them a hug, show them where the coffee is, the bathroom, front door, and all of that. So do I have any takers right this minute?
See her after service. Okay, great.
You going too? Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, and then you need to be here a little bit early, not right on time, okay? Okay, thank you.
Terrific. Ask and you shall receive. See how that works? Yay. Excellent, excellent. We want to offer a little blessing to our babies, or do you have something, Donna? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead. What you
Well,
got?
we have some leftover taco stuff from last night, so we're heating everything up, so it'll just be a few minutes.
Oh, that's terrific. So food is in the kitchen with the leftovers from last night. We would love it. Now, that was a fundraiser for our Posse group that's going to Kansas City for the Posse Music Festival. It costs $8,500 to go, and how much have you all raised so far? Well, that's... $870 a person. Okay. Excellent, excellent. All right, so we're still raising money for that as well. Do we want to bring our babies up here? Oh my goodness, Amora. She's so gorgeous. Hey, this little light of mine.
Little light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine, shine.
If I dare,
Shine, shine.
you know you want to.
Shine, shine.
All around the world.
Shine, shine. All right. We just sent a little love to our sweethearts, whether they're back there, here, wherever. We just know and hold them in love. And this is what we say. We honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And so it is. And not just this baby, but all of us, okay? Just take in that blessing. Take in that blessing. All right. And I think that is, unless there's any other announcements, anything anybody else needs to say, I believe that brings us to the end and our prayer for protection, which I invite you to say along with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Have a fabulous, fabulous week, everyone. Treasurer is Norma. All right. Have a great day. There's food back there. We're still, again, in that fundraiser mode for Posse, so drop a little something into the collection basket. We would greatly appreciate it. Blessings, everyone.